At the Society of Actuaries Research Institute, we've released a new research report on population mortality improvement trends and models in China. The report examines mortality and causes of death both at the national level and then across regions within the China market. And our guest today, Han Li, is associate professor at the University of Melbourne, and she completed the research in collaboration with Dr. Katja Hanewald from the University of New South Wales. So Han, what's new about this project compared to previous studies that we've seen on mortality improvement in China? And how many different types of subpopulations are we looking at or considering in this research?
Hi, Dale. Glad to be here today. So this is a joint work with Dr. Katja Hanewald from USW Sydney. In this research, on top of the national level total mortality, we also look at the mortality differences across regions, urban and rural areas, as well as cause of death. In short, instead of the big picture, we focus on the detailed picture at granular levels.
I like that, Han. And let's talk about some of the key results that we're seeing from this research. For example, for China, what is the average national mortality improvement rate that we've seen in recent decades? And what might be some improvement rates that we might evolve to see in the future?
So our investigation period is from 2004 to 2019. The average mortality improvement rate during this period is estimated to be about 3.2%. And this is across all age groups except for age 0. In terms of the geographical differences in the improvement rate, we find that East China has the highest mortality improvement rate, which is about 3.4%. And West China has the lowest improvement rate, which is about 2.9%. It is a bit surprising to see that urban and rural areas have similar improvement rates during this period. Well, as a first step, we divide the population into 3 broad regions, namely East, Central, and West, as illustrated on this map. Then we further divide the data into urban and rural areas. And finally, we consider 10 leading causes of death to be included in our research. So these different mortality rates can be presented using a 4-level hierarchy, as shown in this figure. And at the bottom level, we have about 60 region, area, and cause-specific mortality rates. In terms of the leading cause of death, circulatory is the #1 cause of death for people over age 65, and external deaths, which include accident, homicide, and suicide, is the #1 cause of death for people below age 35, excluding age 0. And in this research, we conduct mortality forecast across regions, rural and urban areas, and cause of death under the framework of forecast reconciliation, which ensures the consistency and the coherence of forecasts across different hierarchical levels. We find that the average mortality improvement rate is expected to decrease by 1% for the next 10 years, which means that the average improvement rate is predicted to be about 2.2%. And the geographical gap between East China and West China is likely to continue. We also predict that the mortality gap between rural and urban areas will become narrower over time, especially for females.
I like that forecast reconciliation technique that's used here to kind of mesh all that information together. I also like how the report gives some insights by looking at some scenario-based analysis and what that might mean also for future mortality levels. Can you share some of the key insights on using that analysis method within the report?
Of course. So in this report, we conduct mortality prediction under several cause elimination scenarios. We find that the elimination of cancer deaths will on average reduce mortality by 25%, and the reduction is most significant for ages 45 to 60. The elimination of infectious disease will reduce mortality by about 2%, and the reduction is most significant for ages 1 to 4. And finally, if we eliminate respiratory-related deaths, on average, the mortality will be reduced by 2%, which is similar to infectious diseases. However, the reduction is most significant for ages 65 to 80.
Well, Han, big thanks for stopping by to discuss this really important report that examines population mortality and mortality improvement trends through these models in China.
Thanks, Dale. My pleasure.
And those of you watching, if you have any feedback or questions about this particular report, please feel free to contact us at research@soa.org. This population mortality improvement trends and models in China report can be found on our SOA website at soa.org. If you click on the Research Institute and then choose our international section, you'll see it there among the wide variety of international research reports that we have. Thanks for joining us today to learn more about our research projects from the Society of Actuaries Research Institute.